Hi, thanks for coming back to Real Estate Insiders. I'm Danny Poulos with the Elite Lending Team at FemB Mortgage, and we're joined right now with Janet Cicconi from Credit Us, and she's a credit expert in credit scoring, credit rating, what you can do to keep your scores high, and how you can save money doing it. So Janet, thanks for coming in today, and take a minute to tell everybody what you do and how long you've been doing it.
Thank you for having me. My name is Janet Cicconi, like he said. I've been in business for 10 years with CreditUs.com. I'm the senior credit analyst, so sometimes you'll talk to me if you call us. But I'm here, to help you guys understand credit reporting and credit repair.
That's awesome. So 10 years doing this. If you've seen it when the credit scores used to be like pretty good, and they started going down and getting crushed, and now they're coming back. So you've worked through a lot of phases of the credit business, I'm sure.
Yeah, and we've learned a lot about different things such as short sales, how that affects your credit report, and foreclosures, obviously. And things that did happen that unfortunately is a negative on your credit report, we can definitely help you on.
That's great. I mean, people are always wondering about that. They think that they can't come back and the credit will never get better. And we were talking in an earlier segment about time really can cure all ills. But if they know what you know, there's ways to speed up that process to make your scores higher. So first, let's discuss what's important about having your credit score as high as it could be. How does it affect things in your life?
Well, it's definitely a lifestyle that you need to manage. That's why you need to manage your credit score, because your credit score can actually control you and your lifestyle. Believe it or not, because every time you have to turn in that car after you've leased it, that's going to affect your being able to lease a car. Nonetheless, how much you're going to be paying on the interest. So it's very important. And
I know it's gotten more important in the last couple of years, because from my business, from the mortgage business, years ago they went to something called risk-based pricing, which means your interest rate is determined by your credit score. It's not like you can call up and say, what's your interest rate today? There's a lot involved, so whether your credit score is a 620 or a 720 is going to make a big difference. So we spoke earlier about car loans, auto insurance, life insurance, mortgages, all things that get affected, right?
Right. People are very, very surprised at how much it's going to cost them when you determine which score you have. So, it ranges from a 350 to an 850. And, if you're in a 600 category versus a 700 category, it's thousands and thousands of dollars, even on just a car loan, which is like a 5-year, term.
Yeah, I mean, it's really a shame, but it's like that these companies are using your credit score as a judge of your character, right?
Right.
And there's different tiers, like you just said, about where your pricing is going to get better. So, I mean, I'm used to dealing with mortgages, but you deal with people on all kinds of borrowing. So let's use an example. I'm going to go buy a car. I'm doing great. I'm going to buy a $30,000 car. 5-year loan. Whether I have a score of 570 or 720, what do you think is going to make a difference to me over the course of that 5 years if I can take my score to that top level rather than be at the bottom level?
Well, there's a lot of calculators out there that you can use, mortgage calculators, but in your sense, it's the vehicle loan calculator. And in 5 years, you'd be paying $14,000 extra in interest on a 5-year loan for a car.
That's perfect.
If you're at a 570 versus a 620.
You could be buying your kid's first car with the money you're wasting because your credit score isn't high enough.
Exactly. You're throwing away money by not making sure that your credit score is as high as it can be.
And there you're talking about a $30,000 car. If you take those same numbers and talk about a $350,000 mortgage, I mean, now you're talking about a summer home.
Yeah, it's
with the extra money you may be paying.
Thousands of dollars. I mean, I've done the mortgage calculations on different scenarios, and it's so devastating how much money is coming out of your pocket on just, a few points here and there. And it's, not only just to qualify, but let's get that money back in your pocket. So.
Right. So people out there that never think about these things, the point we want to make is you may just be throwing money away and there's something you can do about it, right?
Correct.
Well, let's look at a typical procedure. Someone comes in, they come to me as a mortgage banker, and they apply for a mortgage, so we look at their credit report. We always like to do that 6 months or a year ahead of time before someone's going to buy something, because we want to have someone like you get their credit scores as high as possible before they go ahead and sign anything.
Right.
So we look at their credit report and we may analyze the things they can do for free just to raise their credit scores, maybe paying little things off, shifting, that's the little stuff. But what percentage of people have mistakes on those credit reports?
Well, they did a study, the government actually did a study in the 90s, and they found that 70% of people have inaccuracies in their credit report. And that's why they did come up with, a Rights Act in order for everyone to be able to dispute information on their credit report that they don't believe is theirs or for whatever reason is inaccurate.
All right, so they've looked at their credit, they've done the free things to optimize their score, but now they're thinking ahead, well, 70% have mistakes, I better take care of some of these inaccuracies.
Correct.
Now, we know that's something they can do on their own if they want that kind of pain and brain damage trying to go through it, because I've seen what it takes to go through the process as an individual. So they come to somebody like you who does this every day for thousands of people and thousands of real estate people and lending people. What's the process? What are you trying to accomplish when they come to you?
Well, most people are unaware when they come to us that there are 3 credit reporting agencies. They just figure, I have one score, and it's not one score. Depending on what lending institution is going to qualify you, they may look at one of the credit bureaus, or they may look at the average, which is not the highest, not the lowest credit score, but the one that falls in the middle of the 3.
Right.
So, we generally have to obviously work on all 3 credit reports. We review and analyze them for everything that's affecting the credit score, and then we talk with the client and determine where we can best help them so they can benefit and maximize their score. Now, there's other areas within the credit report, not just the inaccuracies or negative information, but also within the credit report, you have to target certain things. So if they lack credit, that's another big thing that's important, and we're going to advise them based on their credit score where to go. Maybe they need to get a secure credit card because their score is too poor in order for them to qualify for a regular revolving credit. But if their score is high enough, then they can probably get a regular credit card just so that they can fill that gap. There's a lot within a credit report, and we review it, we analyze it, and we go through that process, and we contact each of the credit bureaus to take care of everything that we can. And it's a 4-month program. It's not from one day to the other, but every 30 days generally we can see progress on the credit report. And it's very important because some people may be trying to get a loan quickly and others may have a long-term goal, but each goal we usually meet.
And I can tell you from experience, when we talk about inaccuracies, even if it's not having to do with payments, even if it's addresses, period living someplace, a social security number got inputted incorrectly someplace. From our side, from the lending side, with all the new fraud guards on files, there's files that just get kicked out until you fix that stuff. So if someone gets to you first and then goes through that process so that when they go to apply for a mortgage or car loan or anything else, everything is accurate, not only are their scores higher and they're saving money, but it's going to go through a lot smoother.
Exactly.
Right,
and
when it's all correct.
A big part of our service is not only working on their credit reports, but also educating the client as to controlling their credit. Some people, they're trying to get a home loan, but they also decide that they want to max out their credit cards at the same time. Not a good idea. So, we try to steer them away from doing things that is going to affect their credit score and then obviously affect the qualification on their loan. And we work with the brokers as well. If they're working with a realtor or a loan professional, we educate them as well on what they need to advise their client on and make sure of.
Right. So if a realtor has a client that wants to buy a house, they refer them to a mortgage banker. We're looking at that credit. Now, if the person doesn't qualify at that time, the process would be then they go to you.
To me.
And whether the process ends up taking 30 days or 4 months, it's a circle now. Now their credit score, now they qualify, now you're sending them back to the lender. The lender's reanalyzing it, saying, oh, now they're approved. Now it's going back to the real estate agent who's finding them a house.
Right.
And everybody's happy. So there's a big difference between that and going to somebody and saying, well, you don't qualify on with you.
Yeah, and I
Right?
get a lot of that. I mean, I have a bunch of clients that finally they found the right loan professional to refer us, and then they finally have everybody on the same page because they have a certain goal they want to meet. Not only do they want to qualify, but they want to save on interest, and they want to get all these things figured out before they get, their financing. So.
Right now, we also know that it's a really important thing, the company that you pick. If you look at Better Business Bureau complaints, you've got probably moving companies, and then for a while there it was credit repair companies. But take a moment and just tell us how that got cleaned out and what's important when you're looking for a company.
Well, basically, the Better Business Bureau, and especially in Southeast and the Caribbean, which we're part of, they did a sweep, and there were about 90 credit report repair companies in South Florida at the time. And we met with them, and we wanted to know how we can become compliant and make sure we keep that A+ rating that we have, which is very important to us because our reputation is, stellar. So we wanted to make sure of that, and what they did was they cleaned out everybody else and left about 9 credit report repair companies out of the 90 because the rest don't want to be compliant, and that's so important to be compliant with the Better Business Bureau because you have been qualified.
And you guys actually guarantee that the work you're doing is going to improve their credit scores, right?
What we have is we cannot guarantee that Federal Trade Commission, which actually governs us as an industry, will not allow us to use the word guarantee for obvious reasons, because there are, bad people out there that may have used that word and thrown it around and it got misused. What we do offer is a warranty where we will pay you back what you paid us if we're able to provide you the services that we said that we were going to do, and it's all listed out for you.
Got that? It's not a guarantee, it's a warranty.
It's a warranty. And just so you know, we've been 10 years in business, and we've had to return 2 partial warranties to people, and so out of thousands of clients. So we're very good at what we do.
Yeah, there's no contesting the fact that if you're working with the right company, that it works. If there's inconsistencies and inaccuracies on the credit report and you're able to get them off, and it's an affordable process that you're going to save back 10 times over in money you save on a mortgage, a car loan, your auto insurance, all those things. I mean, it's like crazy for someone to move forward in their life and just sign things and agree to payments and not understand how much lower that payment could be if their credit score were raised like to the next tier. So take a minute, Janet, tell everybody how they can reach you if they have more questions about credit or want to get involved in having theirs analyzed and improved.
Well, you can reach us at www.creditus.com, and if you want to reach out to me directly, my number is 305-273-3488, and I'm at extension 22. I'd be happy to answer any of your questions. We also have a live chat online, so if you want to contact us through that route, you can as well.
Sounds great. This is some great information. I'm sure you're going to be hearing from a lot of our listeners. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you.